Hi, everybody. I'm Deacon Dave.
Layperson Lisa.
Welcome to the Deacon Dave and Layperson Lisa show and to the Be Healed book
by Bob Schutz.
Yes, we're on to episode 13, chapter 6.
And your cover probably doesn't look quite like that.
No. Pages 87 through 93. A tree and its fruit. So what does St. John Paul II say about the tree of knowledge of good and evil?
That it is a symbol of the covenant
That was broken.
God and man, that was broken by man.
Right. So here's the thing. We've said this in the last couple of episodes, Lisa. True healing, okay, it has to go beyond just addressing the symptoms. It has to reach the underlying root issues.
Yes. Our struggles, our sins are often symptoms of a deeper
disease. Right. Yes. Of a soul disease, I would say.
A disease of our soul, yes.
Right. So that's what I would say. I had the wrong word up there, so I was saving Lisa from my mistake.
And we need to pull the tree up.
The true?
You had tree. I just can't read it.
Yes.
We need to pull the tree up from the roots.
Yeah, just rip the whole thing out, right? Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times, like when
it's like a dandelion. You pull it out, but the root's stuck in the ground, and then it comes back with vengeance.
And that's often how we end up dealing with things, right, on our own. But God,
we take it at the surface.
Yeah, God has the strength to pull the whole thing out.
Yep.
So we hear from the prophet Jeremiah that in the year of drought, a tree shows no distress, but still bears fruit. Thereby the running stream, which is an analogy for Jesus.
The love of Jesus is the best medicine for our bodies, souls, and spirits.
Right, so he's not only the divine physician, but he is also the medicine.
Yes, you said that in earlier episode.
Yes, which we should never let run out, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is...
Make sure you get your refill.
Yes, exactly. That's very interesting, because if you don't get your refills, right, then you could end back up in the same place that you were. Now, I think, because this is interesting, right? Because you can have something completely healed, all right? But if you begin to remove yourself from Jesus as you move forward in your life, I would imagine that hurt would resurface.
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
Because it's Jesus that's really maintaining and holding that together inside of our body soul.
Oh yeah. Jesus is the one who's like filling us with love, right? And we said that love is, what did we say last time about love? It's everything.
It's all we need.
We need.
Right. It is the medicine that we need for everything. So our life in the Spirit, okay, it can be summed up in 3 words: security, maturity, and purity.
They all rhyme.
Yeah, so the tree of life, it's a metaphor for our communion with Christ.
Purity is the fruit of love. Maturity is the growth in love. And security is rooted and grounded in love.
Right. So the tree of knowledge, okay, leads to self-reliance, which is filled with insecurity, immaturity, and impurity.
Even every thought and action comes from one of these 2 trees.
So all seeds become big trees, Lisa, that we carry around if they're not pulled up by the roots. And we all have some of these barren bushes and deadly trees in our hearts. Do you imagine what your forest looks like?
It's quite dense.
It's quite dense. Hopefully with
good
vibrant, good trees that are growing, right?
No, well, all seeds become big trees. I think that's interesting because you know how when we talk to people and we plant seeds of different sorts.
Yep.
So those seeds that we plant, even though we may not see the tree grow,
it's growing.
It's growing.
Yeah. So many people, they pray and worship to God, but they still are areas where they are resistant to God's grace, and this is due largely to unhealed wounds and unrepented sins.
And we must remember that even innocent attempts of self-reliance can easily turn into ungodly self-reliance. Is there really innocent attempts of self-reliance?
Yes, I think so.
Really?
I think so. I think we need to fully rely on God, right? It's like right out of the Beatitudes, right?
Right.
That's blessed are the poor in spirit. But I think you can unmeaningly, right?
Okay.
Just think that you're taking care of little things, and in the process of doing that, you have completely forgotten about God, right? So we need to be careful not to dismiss certain root attitudes of sin, or have a false compassion for people.
What does that mean? False compassion for people?
Well, I mean, I think we can have a false compassion for people, that we're not really meaning what we're saying.
Oh, okay. I understand. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, sure.
So we have to remember that sin originates in the father of lies.
Yes.
And it requires our consent before it can take root in our hearts.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's right out of the Catechism, paragraph 1853.
Yes.
I mean, so it's not like the devil is like going like, oh, here, you do this, you know? You've got to like, he's like, and you go, okay, let's go do this. Right? You have to consent.
He's not dragging. He's just like, hey, what about this?
Yeah. Yo, this looks pretty good over here. You know, try it out.
Yeah.
So we can try to hide things, okay, but they manifest themselves. And they eventually affect who we are, our health, and our well-being, you know, both physically and spiritually, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you see anybody who's going through a difficult time, it impacts them both physically and spiritually and mentally and emotionally and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of everything. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go back to that one. We need to be careful not to dismiss certain root attitudes of sin out of a false compassion for people. In other words, Lisa, okay, because I think I told you the wrong way. Like if there's something going on with you, or if there's something going on with me, I think it's important for us to like point that out to people. Okay, and not diminish, okay, what it is or where something could lead to. You know, there needs to be a brotherly correction, if you will, in certain things would be another way that I would interpret that particular statement.
Okay.
You're looking unfascinated by that.
No, I don't think I really fully comprehend that. But...
Well, it would be helpful if there wasn't a misspelled word in there either. It says, just so y'all know, it says, we need to be careful not to dismiss certain root attitudes of sin out of a false compassion for people. That's what it is. Very good, Lisa.
It just took me 20 minutes.
So what it should say is, we need to be careful not to dismiss certain root attitudes of sin out of a false compassion for people.
Okay.
So I think exactly what I said is true.
Okay.
That we don't want to minimize or understate how certain attitudes of sin can lead to something really bad.
Okay, I understand.
We don't want to dismiss them.
Okay, got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we got to keep an eye on even the small things that can lead to something bigger.
Got it.
Like 7 deadly sins, which we'll talk about in the next
episode.
Up.
That's right.
I'm Deacon Dave.
Only person Lisa.
See you next time.
Bye.